In the events of the Rise of the Planet of the Apes sequel, the outbreak of ALZ113 virus that led to its global spread occurred about 10 years ago. Only around 1 in 500 people are genetically immune. While the ape population has flourished and increased, the human population has largely perished due to the virus and acts of violence. A montage of news reports featuring images of rising human brutality that have added to the instability is displayed on the globe that is crisscrossed with red lines. Caesar the alpha chimpanzee leads his fellow apes among the treetops of Muir Woods, a forest north of San Francisco. When a sizable herd of deer begins to stampede across the forest, his subordinate Koba informs Caesar via sign language. Some are trapped as the apes chase after them in anticipation of the hunt. As Blue Eyes, Caesar's son, pursues a wounded deer, a bear unexpectedly attacks him. Caesar leaps in to assist his kid, Blue Eyes, after the bear scratches his chest, inflicting injuries on him. Outmatched, Caesar signals for Koba. Koba uses his spear to slay the bear after leaping onto it. After thanking Koba for his assistance, Caesar advises his son to consider his actions carefully, but Blue Eyes move away angrily. The monkeys head back to Muir Woods, their sanctuary. Maurice's teaching wall display one of the apes' core belief, apes do not kill apes, shows that they have built a dwelling and even an educational system run by Maurice, Caesar's dependable orangutan companion. Caesar returns to his house to care for his wife Cornella, who is ill. One monkey baby was born to her. Blue Eyes is brought out by Caesar to greet his new sibling. Caesar later locates Maurice and expresses his amazement at their collective growth over the years. Maurice inquires as to whether he still considers people. Caesar acknowledges that he does on occasion. A human named Carver approaches Blue Eyes and his pal Ash, the son of Rocket, is strolling in the woods. In a defensive maneuver, Carver pulls a gun and shoots Ash. The humans that Carver is traveling with, commanded by a man named Malcolm, are alerted by the gunshot. To confront the humans, the apes flee through the forest. Malcolm, who understands these apes are more than a normal animal, apologizes for Carver's action. Caesar gives them the order to go. Alexander, the son of Malcolm, is forced to abandon his backpack after dropping it. Koba and the other two chimpanzees are sent by Caesar to trail the humans. Malcolm and the humans return to their location amid the wreckage of San Francisco, where they inform their leader Dreyfus about Caesar's speech skills and the gang of apes. The objective of the people is to get to a neighboring hydroelectric dam and turn it on so that their town can have limited power for a little while longer. In the meantime, Koba returns to Caesar, describes what he saw, and suggests that humans have many weapons. Humans should be killed before they kill apes. Maurice says we don't know how many there are, or how many guns they have, or why do they come up here. Apes glances at Alexander's sketches. When Koba convinces every ape that they should war, Caesar replies that they will lose their home, family, and future if they go to war. The next morning, Caesar gathers his apes and mounts them to confront the humans as they enter the city on horseback. Caesar states that although the apes do not like conflict, they will defend themselves if necessary. They give Alex backpack, and Caesar wants people not to come back to their forest sanctuary, and he insists that people remain on their land. Speaking to the humans, Dreyfus agitates them, stoking their mistrust of the apes and their rage at what has transpired. After that, he speaks with Malcolm, who says dam is the only option and there is no alternative power source. Malcolm assures Dreyfus that if he has enough time, he can persuade the apes to allow him to reach the dam and remove the obstruction so that power may be produced. Malcolm gets Dreyfus' approval and is given 3 days to finish the assignment. Malcolm gets ready to go out with some people. Ellie, his wife, and a nurse offers to accompany him, but he prefers that she stay at home with Alex. After hearing this, Alex chooses to go with his father. Returning to the woods, Malcolm and his group leave him to enter the sanctuary alone. He is ambushed by gorillas and brought before Caesar, where he tells him he means no harm and wants to get to the dam, showing Caesar and the apes the facility with the power systems to prove it to them. Caesar grants Malcolm permission to complete the task, but not before requiring that he and the others turn in their guns, which the apes smash into pieces. Koba comes up to Caesar and shares his mistrust of humans, citing his experience as a scared human being experimented on in the Genesis lab. Koba also suggests killing humans while they are weak. Furthermore, it appears that he disapproves of Caesar's fondness for humans, but Caesar sees this as an opportunity to reconcile with the human race. Humans established a camp in the woods. Foster, a human, observes that because apes are more adept at adapting to their environment than humans are, they don't need power to be as strong as humans. Since the virus claimed the lives of Malcolm's first wife and Ellie's daughter, Carver also speaks to Malcolm and Ellie. Cornelia, the wife of Caesar, is experiencing postpartum fever after giving birth to Caesar's younger son, Cornelius. Maurice visits Alex for his book. Koba is nowhere to be found, so Caesar and the other apes prepare for another hunt. With the help of his two other ape companions, he leads them into the city where they use the humans' gun to find their complex and hence their supply of weapons against the apes. When Koba sees the two males, they are acting like a couple of chimpanzees blowing raspberries and hooting. Still perceiving him as a threat, the two men give him the order to depart. Koba turns and walks away, his trademark snarl coming back to his face. To clear the obstruction, Foster, Carver, and Malcolm labor inside the dam. They manage to blow it out, but they are momentarily trapped by the blast. Carver has another cut on his leg. Ellie succeeds in persuading the gorillas to assist in rescuing the people from the debris. Caesar and other apes stop by as they head back to camp so Ellie can tend to him. Caesar's infant son approaches the human race. He is instantly endearing to Ellie and Alex, who think him cute. Less friendly is Carver. When the small ape approaches a cage holding a gun, Carver instinctively grabs the gun and points it at the apes. Enraged Caesar takes the rifle from him and strikes him with it. Caesar is calmed down by Malcolm and the ape tosses the gun into the river. He gives the people the order to go. Malcolm and Ellie, however, discover Caesar tending to the ailing and feeble Cornelia. Ellie offers to give their antibiotics to her. Caesar offers them a day to stay to complete their work. As ordered by Caesar, Foster drags Carver back to the truck, leaving him there and taking the keys to prevent him from escaping. To complete their task, humans go back to the dam. After alerting the other apes to the presence of human weapons and almost attacking Alex, Koba returns. Malcolm tries to shield him, but Maurice intervenes and stands up for both people. Koba furiously confronts Caesar, saying he thinks Caesar loves people more than apes. Caesar becomes furious and beats Koba until he gives up trying to kill him. Caesar stops hitting him by saying, "Ape not kill ape." Koba reaches out to Caesar, pleading for his pardon. Caesar agrees. Caesar asks his son Blue Eyes to listen to him, but Blue Eyes refuses and walks away. Another companion of Koba asks Koba why he didn't tell Caesar about the guns they found. Koba replies that no one should talk about that to Caesar. Koba meets Blue Eyes when he is alone and tells him that his father no longer trusts Koba, so Blue Eyes should protect Caesar. He also mentions that as long as humans are here, he fears for Caesar's life. Maurice visits Alex again in the tent where he was waiting with the book. Alex gives him the book and teaches him. When Koba gets back to the complex, he sees the same two men enjoying drinks together. He amuses the two men by putting on the stupid chimp act once more. Koba spits out the bottle they are trying to get him to drink from. Koba kills the two men by grabbing one of their firearms while they are distracted. Malcolm and his crew manage to restart the generator by dusk and are ready to start playing music. After taking the gun with him, Koba returns and discovers Carver seated in the vehicle. He is dragged out through the window by Koba, who then beats him to death. Malcolm and the others are taken to the higher level by Caesar, who shows them the city's lights coming on. Cornelia has also improved. Just when you think everything is good, as instructed by Koba, his companions set fire to their homes and Koba shows up with the firearm. Just a few seconds before Koba shoots him, only Caesar notices him. Caesar tumbles to the ground from the tree. All that's left when Koba runs away is the gun and Carver's cap, which Blue Eyes finds. The other apes grow scared and aggressive, so Maurice orders Malcolm, Ellie, and Alex to flee. Koba persuades everyone that Caesar was shot by humans. Malcolm and his family are forced to hide while Koba gathers up all the male apes and charges into the city. Dancing, the humans are rejoicing at their restored strength. Dreyfus withdraws to his personal space where he examines his iPad and views image of his two sons and wife, who have since succumbed to the illness. The sight of them brings him to tears. After that, he heads to the control room where another man is attempting to communicate by radio. Abruptly, Koba rides into the compound with his army of gorillas and chimpanzees to lay siege to the humans. To fire at the apes, Dreyfus assembles a gang of armed soldiers to stand above the gates. Apes start to attack as well as the humans. Many apes lose their lives and Blue Eyes unknowingly observes his race fall. Taking hold of a rocket weapon, he kills a few apes by hitting multiple targets. Koba succeeds in charging through the gates and destroying their wall with his apes. By sunrise, Malcolm and his family discover Caesar, though frail in the interim, and he is alive. When Malcolm is confused about why Carver shot Caesar and from where he took the gun, Caesar says that an ape did this to him. When Koba notices one of the two humans swinging a post at apes, he takes it from him. Koba gives Ash the order to use it on the man to kill him. Ash protests that Caesar won't approve of such activity. In retaliation, Koba seizes Ash, pulls him to the balcony and tosses him to death. Koba says that Caesar is gone now and orders other apes to follow Koba from now on. After being taken away, Caesar shows them the path to his former house where he was raised by people. Ellie needs medical materials so that she can operate on Caesar. Malcolm decides to go back to the city to retrieve the goods. Koba and his cronies had imprisoned people and claimed to understand what it's like to be in a cage. As the apes, now armed with the humans' rifles, start running across the city, they try to tend to his wounds. The gorilla who declined to accompany Koba have been imprisoned in the bus. When Blue Eyes notice Maurice, he is told to defend himself. Malcolm barely escaped the apes with machine guns that would kill him. When he finally hides in a room, Blue Eyes finds him and raises his gun to shoot Malcolm, but he can't bring himself to do so. Malcolm leads him to Caesar by informing him that his father is still alive. When Blue Eyes notices the bullet wound and snarls at the humans, Caesar informs him that Koba is to blame, telling his father that his mother and brother are safe for the time being. Caesar comes to consciousness after the treatment and Blue Eyes says sorry for everything. Caesar says, "No, I'm the one to blame. I chose to trust Koba because he is an ape. I always think apes are better than humans, but I see now how much like them we are." Blue Eyes also tells Caesar that Koba killed Ash, which makes Blue Eyes cry, and also mentions Koba is gaining more followers as a result of their terror. Secretly, Blue Eyes lets Caesar's followers know that Caesar is still alive. Blue Eyes releases Caesar's loyal apes, including Maurice and Rocket. After escaping their bus, Maurice and the other imprisoned apes release the humans. When Caesar visits the attic at night, he discovers an antique camera that captures a film of him learning from his late human owner Will Rodman when he was young chimp. Malcolm approaches Caesar and queries who it might be. In response, he says that, like Malcolm, he was a good man. Escaped apes locate Caesar and inform him of Koba's scheme to entice Cornelia and their infant son along with their other female apes to join him. They set out to stop Koba together with Malcolm. Malcolm comes across Dreyfus and the soldiers as Caesar and his pals are going up against Koba. Dreyfus and two others have recently established contact with the military and equipped the tower with the C4 explosives to take down the apes as Koba and his supporters have assembled at the top of the tower. Caesar confronts Koba at the summit of the tower. Koba tries to inspire the apes once more by saying that they are powerful when they unite. Caesar engages in combat with his one comrade with the other apes supporting him. Malcolm pulls his rifle to stop them and talk them out of going to battle with the apes. Brandishing his weapon, Dreyfus says he will save humanity and won't give up. Malcolm manages to escape the explosion when he seizes the detonator and presses the button, killing him, the two men, and the apes inside the tower. Koba picks up his gun again in the confusion and starts shooting the apes. Koba is knocked off the ledge by Caesar's vicious tackle. He glances up at Caesar as he drags Koba's arm upward and clings on for dear life. He is told by Koba, "Ape not kill ape." Caesar says with a downcast expression, "Jeopardize, you are not an ape." He then lets go of Koba, letting him fall to his death. Malcolm ascends to locate Caesar and apprise him of the approaching military reinforcement that could jeopardize his family and ignite a conflict. Malcolm needs to go defend his own family, according to Caesar, who claims that an ape has already launched a battle. Although they still acknowledge their relationship, and they also realize that there is no longer any prospect for peace. Caesar is left to rule over the apes after Malcolm disappears, and they all submit to him once more. Caesar's family is among the free and living apes that approach the tower to be reunited.